Hello, good evening everyone. Welcome back to the Jackocar Cup Series. We've been away for a couple of weeks, but as you can see, we're back here for Brazil, which is round 13 of season 12, and we're really getting into the thick of it now. Every week we'll be losing drivers from the playoffs and from the chase. We'll be seriously cutting our grid down to find our Championship 5, who will be racing for a title in, well 4 weeks really from now. I mean, I tell you what, actually, this time of the month will be done and on our Christmas break, so we're very much getting towards the business end of things. And we've come to the Owen Wyatt, who, yes, is sick. I wasn't going to mention it, but Jacko noticed it as soon as I entered the party, so fair enough. Jacko's been on holiday, so that's a bit easier for him. But yeah, we're back in the swing of it. Your last few races in charge, well, your last month in charge, effectively. Looking forward to it?
Yes, let's get it over with.
That's what I like to hear.
That's the kind of commitment that the people tune in for, you know. The thing is, Owen, people look up, not just at league racing, but, you know, the best football players in the world, the richest people in the world, people with the biggest houses. Everyone looks up and thinks, oh, wouldn't it be good to be them? Unfortunately, it's tough at the top, and you do get bored of it. And I've been, you know, #1 league owner for forever, really. And it is time to end because I'm bored of it. That's your honesty.
Well, there you go. That's what 12 seasons of ownership does to a man. And we will need to keep reminding you, the commentary team will still be the commentary team. So as far as you are concerned as viewers, nothing really changes. Although, as I G'd Jacko up before we started this, because I mentioned, well, for a start, we're going to be on F1 25 for the foreseeable future now, thanks to Codemaster's announcement that they're going to just be updating this with the 2026 calendar at some point next season, which I think is a good call, because I think if you're going to do this sort of strategy for any game, it really ought to be the next one, and so that means F1 27 will be the next game, which means no one needs to worry about buying a new game, just buying a 50 quid DLC or whatever it's going to cost, which is a lot easier than buying a 100 quid game. But the other thing, we're all about eliminating drivers, we're all about the playoffs and the chase and all the rest of it, and the new owner is going to have to deal with that as well, because it looks like NASCAR is going to be abandoning that whole playoffs and chase system, and this is a NASCAR hybrid league, remember. I know we tend to never mention it, only every week, but yeah, a lot of things are going to be changing, and Jacko, you get to sit back and not have to worry about it. But you were at the championship races. I assume you were at all of them. For NASCAR. Was it as bad as it looked?
Well, first of all, you assume wrong. Because I only went to the NASCAR, the Cup Series. So, basically, Friday night, I was still in the UK, and it was the Truck Series, and I got the... Well, it would have been Saturday morning. I saw Saturday morning, Corey Heim won the Truck Series. He's the driver that dominated all season, deserved the truck title. And I'm thinking, this bodes well. That's the number 11 Toyota. You know, big 11 fan I am. So I think Corey Heim, title deserved, well done. I fly out to Phoenix on Saturday, and by which time I get there, I then see the notification come through that Connor Zilic, who had been like Corey Heim, dominated the season, had not won the title. And I'm thinking, hang on, what's happened here? He's finished third. So I'm like, okay, 50-50 now, isn't it? Sunday comes around. I'm a Denny Hamlin number 11 fan. I couldn't tell you how many laps there are. 380, 360, something like that. I was sat there in row 10 of block 335, I think it was. Denny Hamlin dominates this Cup Series race. And you know what? I've never been so emotionally involved in any sporting event ever that I've attended live. But for some reason, with 12 laps to go, I'm thinking, something ain't right. Even though he's got like a 4-second lead, something ain't right. And then the next thing I do is I turn to my left because I hear an ooh from the crowd, and I see William Byron in the wall, and I'm thinking, fuck, this is it. The next thing I see, a couple minutes later, is Denny Hamlin. He's still in his pit box. Okay, he's putting on 4 tyres. I'm thinking, hang on, everybody else has put on 2 tyres. What's going on? He drops down to 7th. The field is flipped on its head. 2 cautions ago, Kyle Larson's a lap down. And then overtime. They only do 1 overtime, I think. I can't remember.
They did.
But, yeah. Overtime comes around. Denny makes up 3 positions on 4 tyres, but it's not enough. He loses the title to Kyle Larson. As soon as Kyle Larson crosses the line, I have never exited a sporting venue so quick. So yes, awfully bitter. But Denny Hamlin dominated the season, dominated that race, but didn't win the title. And that is what's wrong with this system. Even Jackocar has it, because Jamie Wright has 2 titles.
Yeah, you know, if only we had a better example of a driver who's absolutely crap but ends up winning the final race. What's his face? Where is it? Oh, he's not on track yet. We'll worry about Jake later on.
Kieran.
Oh, sorry, Kieran. Last year, thinking of, oh well, you know, there you go. We got too many. But yeah, it's funny, really. The Jackocar system works because it's on a video game, right? It's on a video game. We're all here to muck about a wee bit. And let's be honest, on a video game, there's no money involved, there's no stakes involved. Who gives a shit, realistically? Let's all have fun on a championship night and have 5 drivers going for it. You saw the likes of Abu Dhabi in Season 10, where basically it was demolition derby all the way to the end, and basically Jake just happened to be the person who crossed the line first. No skill involved. I mean, honestly, that was mental. But, you know, that sort of thing works with a video game. But watching NASCAR, it's hard to watch NASCAR these days, because I never really... For a start... You never know how long a race is going to be, because you've got these endless overtimes. Luckily, it was just 1 this time, but the fact that we even go to overtime in races just feels quite unfair. But then to have Denny Hamlin basically dominate that whole race, and then have it taken away from him because another car puts it in the wall. I know it's funny, because F1 had Abu Dhabi 2021, right, and that was so controversial. NASCAR has that every week. I don't know how you watch it. So... yeah, I don't know. It put me off NASCAR a wee bit. But then I found an interesting stat that Kyle Larson actually would have won if it was based on points. So how do you feel about that?
Yes, I saw that same stat, actually. And I feel no better about it, because I was thinking at the midpoint of that race, Denny had an issue on pit road where he went down to like 18th because he had a slow stop, and then when I saw him, I'd literally watched him for an hour drive back to the front on the same stint. I was like, oh my god, this is our day. And then like the penultimate caution, he just drove away from the field, even like just drove away from Blaney, who's really good at Phoenix. I'm thinking to myself, this is our day. But just something about it with 12 laps to go, it just hit me that this ain't done. I've watched most of the races this season. Based on what I've seen, yes, Kyle Larson has the most points, but he's just been the most consistent in terms of where he's finished. He's not done anything, I believe, worthy of the championship. And of course the NASCAR is very much like the Jackocar in terms of it's all about the show. Denny's put on a show this season, and it just felt right, and then it wasn't. So the points are irrelevant, as I say to all the drivers here in Jackocar. So it's not about points, it's about winning at the right times. And I was awfully bitter. I went and cheered myself up with a Raising Cane's, but it was the worst possible start to a 2-week holiday.
Fair enough. I fully understand, because even on NBC, even the commentators just sounded a bit sort of miserable. I mean, and no one even knows who won the race. And mind you, we're slightly guilty of that as well in Championship 5. So they're saying that we're not actually, because we know that, bloody hell, one of the Jamies, not the good Jamie, the bad Jamie, I think, won season 1, didn't he? And then Riley won season 2. So we know people win championship races, but they didn't even mention it on NBC.
Do you know what? Because I was so annoyed about the result, I didn't even know he won the race until like 2 hours later. I was sat there having me chicken and fries. I was like, who won the race? Oh, that's Ryan Blaney.
So yeah, it's fun seeing the whole NASCAR format. So it looks like that's all going to change, and obviously with us being a NASCAR sort of league, maybe we'll finally get to change our system as well, because we obviously have run the two quote unquote playoff formats concurrently. We run the modern system in the playoffs, and we run the chase for the cup in the chase. But yeah, I think who's it? Probably going to be Gareth in charge, isn't it? I don't actually remember. It probably will be Gareth in charge. Maybe with a consortium of people. So yeah, I wonder if they'll be thinking about changing it, because obviously we've removed stages this season, which I think is a good move. NASCAR should do that, please. And yeah, I'm just wondering if NASCAR will be worth watching next year. But yeah.
Oh, it will be. Just a couple more things on that. I remember my friend who I went with, I was explaining it to her on the day. She's like, who do we want to win? And I was like, basically, you got 4 drivers. Points are irrelevant. I'm an 11 fan, so we want the 11 to win. However, we wouldn't be mad if a 24 won or the 19 won, Byron or Briscoe. What we don't want is the 5 to win. So there's a 75% chance we're going to get an okay result. What happens? The 5 wins. Well, 5 wins the title. With Blaney winning the race, I've now been to 6 NASCAR races and had a different winner every single time. So there is that. That's all I got for you.
Well, that's the interesting part of NASCAR anyway. So yeah, just thought we should talk about that, because I thought that was very interesting. I knew you'd have thoughts on it. And we've come to the end of that chat just as Pete Knighton goes fastest in the slow drivers part of qualifying, effectively the bottom 10. He's, I believe, we've got a few jokers tonight, which is bad news, remember, because you only can do 1 pit stop. Although we did see in Bahrain that who was it? Casper just ignored that and just did his own thing. So I mean, maybe we'll see some variation in joker strategy tonight. But we've got Pete, we've got Tony, Johannes and Jake are our jokers tonight, as Arnaud starts the fast qualifying, but he's out of the championship, so he's just here for fun and for stats.
I've just seen, it caught me for half a second. I was like, TMF Marduk is retired from the session. I thought, it's Gareth.
Yes. We're not falling for this one. He got us good with the whole Casper thing, but he's not going to get us again.
We hope not.
I hope not, yeah.
Yes. But yes, Arnaud de Grief, reigning champion for at least 5 more weeks. Well, for no more than 5 more weeks. And then he will hand over the baton to Corey Dalton.
Interesting. I've not actually decided who I think's going to win the championship yet, really.
To be fair, it should be Casper. If with what I just said about Denny Hamlin and Corey Haim all season, it should be Casper. But obviously, from a personal point of view, if you take my professionalism out, it'd be Corey Dalton.
The thing is, Casper, I agree, probably should win it, as Arnaud blitzes the field there. You can tell he's the reigning champion. But yeah, he should blitz the field, really should. Casper, because I think we all come to a general consensus that he's the fastest, as Jimmy Griffiths has invalidated his time. Doesn't really matter, he's also out of the championship. We'll get Waitsy up, see his full lap. He is in the championship, he's a driver at risk today, 6 points off of Risky, but we'll worry about him, we'll worry about that later on. But yeah, so Casper probably should win it. Corey's right behind him in terms of points at the minute, based on the 3 playoff races we've had so far. The 2, we've had so far. And then Tony's just behind as well. So those 3 are inferior favourites. Tony, I don't know, he could be a bit of a dark horse. I don't know how he'll feel about that. And Corey never wins it, which is a real problem. He's one of those drivers who may just never win it. Something always goes wrong. So yeah, I've not really decided. I'd say in the back of my head I'm thinking look out for Tony, but at the same time also you've got to look out for Jake, because we saw it in season 5. He'll just show up and win it, and then we'll just have to deal with it.
And don't rule out as well, Johannes. He had a bad race last time out, 3 weeks ago. So he's only 7 points above the cut. Can't afford another bad race. But, if he can keep finishing P2, as long as he finishes P1 on the final day of the season, that should, it will guarantee him a title. And he's not slow.
Nor is Risky. Now, Risky, I think he had an unlucky race in Bahrain because he was running second, he was fighting for the lead, then he pitted and broke his front wing moments after coming out of the pits. He hit the back of another car, and that sort of undid all of his good work. He's gone third for now. I mean, he if anything, he's a bit like Jake actually was in Season 5, where he keeps looking like he could win or get a good result, and it doesn't happen. Maybe he's just saving up all of his luck for the Championship 5 if he makes it there. But yeah, I suppose really anyone in this championship, well, anyone in the playoffs has still got a realistic chance, really. Luckily, I don't think you can rule any of them out until they physically get knocked out, which is nice.
Yeah, and of course no Ben Shaw this evening as well, so
Well,
he
it doesn't
comes
help,
into
actually,
it.
does it?
Comes into it +7, but he's actually P6, so he has Sullivan behind him by a point, and then Chris Waits is 7 points, obviously, behind Ben Shaw. So basically, Mr. Lewis needs to get 2 points, which I think means finishing 15th, and Chris Waits needs 7, which would be P10, because Chris has the better countback result, so he can be P10. And if he isn't, or if Sullivan isn't getting 2 points, then Ben Shaw will live to fight another week when we go to wherever we go next week.
That would be quite surprising to see Arnaud and Ben Shaw out of a championship so early.
Yeah, shocking.
But I suppose we'll see how that pans out, as Tony only goes 4th fastest. No one's got near Arnaud's time, but Waitsy is the fastest out of the current active drivers. Johannes, who finished the race in Bahrain with a Christmas tree coloured car, if you remember. He got hit in the side so many times that it just ruined his race. He finished right at the back. That's put him on the back foot. But a spin here, we didn't catch it on stream, but I'll take your word for it, Jacko, and you can see it on the timings on the top of your screen there. He is very, well, I say very slow. He may sneak maybe into 13th if he's lucky, but yeah, that's not a good return after a few weeks off, and he really was. He was just bashed off by every car that came near him last time. It was a real disaster for him. So he needs this to be strong, and it is still behind Jack Craig. It was a few tenths off of him, so that's a bit of a disaster. He's got a car behind him with Jake. Will that have distracted him, being so close to him at the start? I mean, I think he was going for the slipstream, wasn't he, Jake? So I think he ought to have expected the car to be there in front of him. We haven't mentioned Corey yet, by the way, in terms of his qualifying, since he won last week, didn't he? So last race. So that means he gets a qualifying ban. If you win the last race, then you can't qualify. So that's how that works. So that's why he'll be starting last. Jake, who knows when he's going to win again? We keep waiting for the pace to show up. This is a good opportunity for him.
Sure is, and I've just worked out, Owen, we're missing Casper.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. I was wondering if he's going to pop up at some point, because sometimes people do show up late. I wasn't going to mention it, hoping he would show his face, but with 50 seconds left to go in qualifying, we do have a missing Casper, and I'm wondering why that is. Has he given you any communication yet?
Oh, I've had nothing. Has
he
Arnaud
simply
confirms himself on pole?
Has he simply forgotten?
He may well have done. Let me just
Did anyone think
the usual stat?
Did anyone think to ask?
Arnaud de Grief, by the way, that's 26 poles. He goes level with Ben Shaw now, who is second. Barry Baldwin confirming to me that he invited both of Casper's accounts, so it's not the league's fault.
Nice.
However, not being here doesn't affect Casper this week. Like, he will guarantee himself. He's already guaranteed to race next week, but next week is going to be very, very difficult if everybody finishes well this week. So Casper Klein could be in trouble.
Yeah.
And I've had no communication to answer your question.
So that is a shame. I'm a bit confused, really. It's not like Casper to just forget, is it? So I wonder what's going on there. But yeah, a bit of an odd qualifying. So Arnaud on pole, and he's out of the championship. Jake is on playoffs pole, if you want to call it that, with Waitsy right behind him. I mean, he's in danger at the minute. Him and Risky, second row of the grid. That's going to be a good good race between those two. Hopefully get through the first few corners because that should be epic. Pete Knighton, I think he's the highest Joker. Oh no, he's not. Of course he's not. Jake, that also helps Waitsy and Risky, considering that the Joker driver of Jake's ahead of him. We don't think the Joker works. Tony's also on a Joker. We don't think it works. And yet Pete, and then Johannes, who had a bad qualifying already, he's on a Joker as well. So this race really is, I would say, based on how that qualifying's gone and based on who's on a Joker, Risky's and Waitsy's big chance to be at least on the podium. So we'll keep an eye on it.
It's the worst second row that Ben Shaw's ever seen. I know he's at a Lord gig at the minute, but I'm sure there'll be a little bit of him that will be keeping an eye on this.
Be concerning himself with this, would he?
You never know.
If he gets himself knocked out of this championship, it's fine because he's running the next one with Gareth. So that'll just be his excuse, saving his energy for when it really matters.
I'll just put a message into chat. Is Casper dead? Robin Border replies, hopefully.
Don't forget the lol.
Oh yeah, hopefully followed by a lol. For goodness sake.
Good to see there's respect between the drivers still. As we sit here in cloudy conditions. I don't think anyone in the chat's mentioned rain, have they? So
yeah. Bazza on YouTube. No rain expected.
Good.
That's what he tells me.
Good. I don't think we need rain. I don't think I want rain. This is Brazil. We always have good races at Brazil. So we'll let this one play out naturally. And for these guys on Jokers, this will be really fascinating to see if they can make it work. I think the answer is they can't make it work on a one-stop, but as Casper did show us in Bahrain, and it really annoyed me at the time, but it does, unfortunately, it does make sense to just bin off doing the one-stop and just do a two-stop when pitting whenever you want, because obviously on a standard strategy, your second pit stop ought to come at the halfway point of the race. Whereas here, you can sort of do whatever you fancy. It doesn't make a massive difference, but if you get lucky safety car timing or whatever, then you might be able to take advantage. So we'll see how that pays off for these guys. On Jokers, they chose these Jokers at the start of the season before knowing how big the tyre was in this game, by the way. So it's not like any of this is strategical in terms of what they expected anyway. They all went for, the faster drivers all went for Jokers late in the season thinking it'd be an advantage, and it sort of backfired on them. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, second row, we mentioned it already, but they're starting on the softs as well. Oh god, that's wait to see and Risky. They're going aggressive. I like it, and I wonder what Arnold's approach is going to be. He's racing under no pressure, isn't he? But if he sees Risky or Waitsy behind him, looking for a win, will he play nice? Do you think? Does he care?
Who's that? Sorry, I'm semi-distracted.
Arnold, yeah. What does he do if he sees a playoff driver behind him looking for a win? If he sees it's Risky or something like that. If it's Jake, no chance. But, you know, if it's a driver who's maybe not expected to win races.
Yeah, and he would help Corey out as well. He knows that.
Yeah, Corey,
we all know that.
Reminder, starts right at the back of the grid. Should be an exciting race, Jacko. Any last thoughts?
Should be. It's time for some famous little words, Owen.
Sounds good to me. Hopefully we get some lights then. Here we go. We're back for the final stint of Season 12 when the 5 lights go out. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing. Keep an eye on that second row. They're both on the soft compound tyres, but it's Jake O'Sullivan looking up the inside of Arnold into turn 1. They nearly make contact, but Arnold leaves the space. Fair driving from the reigning champion. The two most recent champions going 1-2 at the moment. Now, Waitsy and Risky, they stayed 3 and 4. And reminder, they are surrounded by Joker drivers, and that's Corey Dalton already up to 13th place, looking on the inside of Mike Kelterborn. He's got Gareth on his outside as well. He's not going to fight that one, which is quite restrained of him. And Corey going off the track there to create the space on the inside to get past Mike Kelterborn and also get past Bazza, who's thinking about coming back at him, nearly makes contact, but Corey's nearly done half the field and we're only halfway through the first lap. Pretty much the perfect start. Yep,
absolutely, Owen. And for some reason, I chose to watch, go on board with Corey rather than watch the race start off board and like everyone into turn one. And what an excellent decision that was. He's skiving his way through. It's fantastic. P11, half the field done. Lap 1 will belong to Arnaud as Deck gets past Pete. And and Pete's going to come back here, or is that Yori? Yeah, lap 1 done here in Brazil. We love it.
And welcome back to Deck, by the way. We should mention that. But here comes Risky up the inside of Waitsy. They nearly swapped places on the first lap. They have swapped places on the second lap. And you can see why Risky had to do that. He's already nearly 2 seconds behind the front two. And Tony will follow Risky through. Now, that's bad news, that, for Waitsy. Doesn't look like he's got much pace. At least in the early stages. He goes wide now as well after contact from Tony. And that puts him down into P6. Remember, he needs to finish in the top 10, doesn't he, to get himself into the next stage of the playoffs. So let's hope he can pick the pace up. Deck next behind him, and we're not used to seeing Deck this high. I'm not used to seeing Deck really in the league at the minute, but it's good to see he's back and with some good performance underneath him at the moment. As we lost Baza. Hopefully that doesn't ruin the lobby, but that's also, well, a shame for Baza. As Johannes, he's diving up the inside of every corner, just trying to look for some sort of gap to get past his rival, but there's nothing he can do. He's doing that because Corey's right behind him, and he doesn't want to get involved with anything there. As Jamie, he just resets the track. Okay, well, that was a bad time to hit on board. We'll pretend we didn't see that as the VSC comes out, and Arnaud straight into the pits. Interesting. So yeah, interesting. He lose the least amount of time pitting onto VSC. And Corey's followed him in, Yuri's followed him in, Mike had a damaged front wing, so it makes sense for him to be in. Hard compound tyres for Arnaud. Is he going to do 2 stints on the hards? Not out of the question. We know, again, I said the tyre wear is pretty big on this game. And look at that, Yuri just blocking Mike's pit entrance there, so that's going to make his pit stop even longer, having to wait all that time. But we got a fair few drivers in. This VSC out because Jamie Griffiths was off the track. He reset back on, but not before the VSC came out. Everyone who pitted there went onto hards, apart from Baz's AI that went onto the mediums, so we'll sort of call that an anomaly. And we'll look back to the front where Jake O'Sullivan gets us back underway. And he's got that 2 second gap over Risky, but he's got to do a Joker strategy. What do you do from here? We've watched enough of these races. What do you reckon he'll be thinking at the minute?
He'll be thinking he doesn't have to do the Joker. You know, obviously it's a mystery calendar. It'll annoy you in the process, but he'll do what he can on the mediums. Obviously that's the optimal way to start these races, but if he finds it's not working out, then I'm sure he'll bin the Joker off and go back to a 2-stop, because Mr. Sullivan Lewis is a genuine threat, and he's bringing Tony behind with him, who is also on the mediums but is a Joker. So yeah, it'll be a case of playing it by ear. Here comes Tony Kirkpatrick.
He's not fighting, and I'll tell you why he's not fighting. He's not fighting because he knows that Tony's a Joker, and that's why I think it's a bit unfair if these guys now decide that they're not going to bother, because these guys are racing them knowing they have to do a 1-stop, and if they just decide I don't really fancy that anymore, sort of defeats the point of it being a Joker. You know, yes, we had it there, intended it to be an advantage, but most drivers did the first half of the season doing it legit, and it was a disadvantage. That's just tough luck. That's how it works. It's just a bit of a shame that we don't have it as making a mandatory 1-stop, or as far as you can manage with a 1-stop. But yeah, well, it's something we can look at, I suppose. I'm sure, as we mentioned, Gareth's got some plans for maybe giving double points for a Joker and just making it be a normal strategy, and so that brings it back to being an advantage for next season. So it shouldn't be a disadvantage for much longer, a Joker, but for now, I just hope they do it legit, but I don't think that's going to happen. Joker 1-2 at the minute. Jake, Tony, and Waitsy. He's under a lot of pressure. There's contact between Ben Harrett and Deck as they both chase after Waitsy, and they've got Johannes sort of on the inside. He might try and get 2 cars in one here. He's already got past Deck, and Ben moves across but leaves just enough space. 3 wide here into turn 4. Deck slides wide, and Johannes does get 2 cars in one go. He has got a damaged front wing on the left-hand side. Presumably that's come from an earlier collision, but he's up into the top 5. Next up is Waitsy, who survives another lap, thanks to the guys behind him fighting.
From 14th on the grid as well, it must be said. Johannes, I know a few have stopped, but progress has been made. Arnaud, the leader of the early stoppers.
Oh, Dex up the inside here of Pete Knighton, and there's a lot of contact. He's been nerfed on the exit there, but Pete, I don't think he appreciated being hit up the side. That might well have done floor damage. And Deck, well, he's not got any front wing damage from that. Is he going to have Gareth Hall up his inside? I think he's broke a bit late, has he? No, he just makes the corner. Just a bit of an aggressive turn. I thought he was going off into the grass for a moment as Johannes gets past Waits, so he's into the pits. Those soft compound tyres not lasting, and he speeds into the pit lane. He'd be glad this is a two-stop, because if that was a one-stop race, he'd be in big trouble.
I'm sure in Dreamland seeing that one come up. Long way to go, 30 laps in fact. This is surely TMX Marduk's moment as well to get past Deck, the struggling Deck. Does he bring Arnaud with him?
Well, this is the thing. I mean, what does Arnaud do here, watching 2 cars ahead, fighting? Arnaud, who's a long way ahead of the other guys who've pitted under that VSC. He's very much in a world of his own at the moment. And I'll tell you what, actually, the one thing that might make the Joker genuinely viable is that, well, unless Arnaud's doing hard to hard here, he's made a lap 2 pit stop. Presumably, he's only planning to make one more. And that would suggest, actually, you probably could do a legit one stop if you can do 2 laps at the start. That's nothing. So maybe a one stop is viable. So we'll keep an eye on it.
What a move around the outside! Wow.
That is confidence. That is grip. That is those soft tyres possibly on Gareth's car degrading. We've now seen a few drivers take those soft tyres off, including Risky on this lap. Arnaud will challenge now. Deck, who's made a contact with a couple of cars today, and well, he's not going to hit Arnaud. Maybe because Arnaud's too fast for him. He's got to get nowhere near him. And Arnaud, it's going to be into 3 seconds there of clear air. Here comes Pete Knighton. Very easy move that was on Ben Harrett, which feels unusual for these two, doesn't it? That feels very unusual for these two. Oh, here we go.
Hang on, it's not there, not done yet.
We're on the outside, a bit of lag, which doesn't help, but I hope they don't have to deal with that, because that will cause problems. But Pete, ahead of Ben Harrett, and it was easy. Very weird. Yellow flag for nothing.
It's because they know they've got to see each other on Saturday.
Oh, well, white. That wouldn't do them any good, would it? To have any incidents then. Just looking at Corey's progress. He got his penalty just for track limits, I'm assuming. It's only a 3-second penalty. But he's a long way up the road from Waitsy, and I'm just trying to... Obviously, Arnaud's way up the road, whatever, but I'm just wondering where Corey Dalton's going to actually turn up here, because Risky's behind them both, and he was running second. Risky's broke his front wing again. Is that another outlap calamity for him? But I'm just wondering if Corey's running a net second here. Maybe a net third. He's running a net quite high. We'll go with that. But things are looking good so far, barring the 3-second penalty. Is Arnaud up into 4th place. I think a safety car, after the pit stops have been completed, will get Corey well into play. But I'm suspecting Arnaud is going to be well clear of the pack here. By the time these pit stops are done, if he's able to really get this done on one more stop, he'll have a good 15-second lead by the time all the stops are done. Maybe 10 seconds, 10-15 seconds, just by virtue of pitting under that VSC. So it was good timing. We'll see if it pays off for him. Still got 18 cars in the race. Baza is back in the lobby. He came back just after the VSC ended, so we'll see what happens.
I'm just thinking Arnaud could do with a bit of luck with pit stops. Remember how he basically eliminated himself with 2 bad stops out of this season's contention. And of course, now he's got no pressure. He's back to dominate. Well, he's not dominating, but doing well, let's say. Up to P3 now.
8 laps on a set of mediums, and that's enough for Tony to deem it time to pit. Interesting. He's picked up a 10-second penalty as well for speeding, but it's the tyre life there that surprised me. Only 8 laps? Interesting. Right, okay.
Pete's nearly spilling the wall, and Ben Harris hit him!
Oh, well there you go. That's a safety car.
Safety car.
That's for the front wing missing off of Baz's car, but was just keeping an eye on Tony, because Corey did come out in front of him, but that safety car just sort of spoiled that a little bit. But yeah, 8 laps on mediums. That seems like a one stop isn't the best idea. And it also seems to be like Tony, again, he's not going to bother with the Joker, is he? Because he's not going to do the rest of the race in those tires. As Johannes speeding under the safety car, there's absolutely no need for it. And he's got himself a very, very unnecessary time penalty. A drive-through penalty. You can't even take that under the safety car, can he? So it's ruined his race, is what that's done. And Jake's got himself a 10-second time penalty. And with the safety car going to pack the pack up. There you go. That's a good phrase. Pack the pack up. he'll have to potentially face the full force of that penalty because Arnold still leads the race. I reckon genuinely he would have led that by a good 15 seconds had that not gone safety car, but he leads it anyway. Everyone's speeding here. It must be a very difficult braking zone. And the whole field are in the pits here, by the way. Everyone's in the pits.
Bird. Yeah.
Apart from actually Corey and a handful of others. Okay, hold on.
Well, TMF Murdoch stays out as well.
He had just pitted, hadn't he? So he stands to gain a little bit here, though, doesn't he? He might just beat Jack Craig. Let's see. And that'll be P7.
Well, sorry, he's not chase leader. He is level on points with Pete Knighton.
That has worked out very well for Gareth, because with Johannes having that 10-second penalty in front of him, Arnaud, well, actually Arnaud and Corey, they may still have to do 2 stops. We don't know about that yet. Jake has that penalty. Yeah. Gareth is in a very good position here. We'll say that quietly,
though. Let me tell you what it's done. What he's done is made himself the leader of the chase. The outright leader of the chase. As it stands here on lap 10 in Brazil.
Tony.
Of course, don't forget, Owen, the chase, we lose 2 drivers tonight. Coming into it, it could be Jack Craig and Michael O'Keke. So they need to perform well. However, there is no Waze Kuba. And he's only 1 point up the road from Jack Craig. So Ben Harrett needs a point, and O'Keke needs 3. And at the minute, O'Keke is getting 3. And Jack Craig is certainly getting more than 1. So we could see Waze go out here.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention Tony because he is now without penalties. He would have been up in P4, but he decided to make another pit stop and officially kill off the Joker, which was already dead anyway. But he's got rid of that 10-second penalty and can race penalty free now. Jake couldn't really afford to do that because he got that penalty while already under safety car. So yeah, he just got unlucky with that one, I think. Mind you, he could have still, I suppose, pitted on the last lap, maybe not being right at the back, but anyway, he's got to deal with it. Same as Johannes with that drive-through, he's screwed anyway, because you can't say there was under safety car. And he's got a broken front wing to worry about. It must be so frustrating for him. He didn't change that front wing as well under the safety car pit stop, which surprises me. You might as well. I mean, you've already got a drive-through penalty. You might as well make that recovery drive a little bit easier for yourself. And Pete Knighton, as I've just seen, also has a bit of damage on the left-hand side of his front wing. Where's Baza, actually? Not Baza, Risky. Risky must have changed his front wing because he's down in 14th. And I tell you what an opportunity Risky and Waitsy had. And look where they are. 14th and 15th. So early on, and it's already all gone wrong for them.
Which is perfect. Perfect for Ben Shaw, because where they are, Chris Waits gets 2 points, which is not enough. It keeps Ben Shaw in the championship. 3 points now, but it's still not enough. He needs 10th.
Right then, so I'm expecting this to be possibly the last lap of safety car. The only thing that worries me is that OKK's half a lap behind the field. Is he going to pit again? He's not. I was worried he was going to pit again because that would have possibly not let him catch up. Saying that, let's say he's already a decent way behind, but I think the field are going slow enough. He'll just be bringing those tyres in gently, and he'll restart from the back of the pack. He's not lost too much. He was, 13th before he pitted again there, so I suppose you might as well. Although you don't really want to be finishing last on a day like this when you could be getting yourself knocked out of the chase, but let's not assume he'll do that. He just needs to get, as you say, a couple of places to beat Wes Cooper anyway. So, yeah, we'll see how he gets on. Just finished the race and nothing to worry about. But, yeah, so we've had a VSC, a safety car, and yet we still have all 18 drivers in the race. So the safety car will disappear now, and we'll see how we get on with this restart. And OKK still hasn't caught up actually yet, which is surprising. I wonder, he really is just
he'll
trying to
make
get
it.
his tyres in. Yeah, he will get there. In fact, if he catches at the exact right point, he might slingshot himself ahead here, but I don't think he's going to quite catch it at the right time for that. Here comes Arnaud. On a restart here, you want to be going as late as
He's caught
possible.
them all out. Look at that.
But he has called them all out. It's caused, it's a front wing flying off in the background there, so it's caught a few people off guard. Here comes Corey up the inside of Jake O'Sullivan, and he couldn't quite make it stick as we lose Jamie Griffiths on the restart. He's left the lobby, which is, well, less than ideal. Is Corey going to go for it again on Jake? Jake defends brilliantly to the middle of the track. No way through either side there, and that was great driving from the three-time champion. Is Corey going to get round his outside? No, that'll be even better driving. But once again, it's defended by Jake. Oh, a bit of a lock-up on the way in. But, well, do you know what that's doing? Is letting Arnaud disappear at the road, and he'll be absolutely delighted about that. Corey, he just keeps looking, doesn't he? He wants to get that move done ASAP. And I tell you what, for a good race for teammate Marduk himself, Gareth, it's going even better. He's up to P6 now. This is effectively a net P4 on the road. He's doing really well here. I know we shouldn't be jinxing drivers.
Behind.
We shouldn't be jinxing drivers, but he's doing well. We've got Mike Keltman off the road, but he should be able to recover from there. And well, Arnaud, all looking good from so far. Johannes with his drive through, he's gonna have to take it. I assume on this lap or the next lap, but he'll have to do it at some point soon. It is definitely a drive through he has, isn't it? Yes, it is. So yeah. he will have to do that. And Jake closing the gap now on Arnaud. Remember, these guys do have a bit of a tyre offset on Arnaud and Corey, so they should be quicker. Johannes, Jake, Deck, teammate Marduk. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on this, because Corey in particular actually looks on this lap to be fading quite badly. And actually, well, yeah, both of them, both Arnaud and Corey are fading on this lap. Second stops can happen from lap 18 onwards, so I wonder how early these two will go for it. And that would suggest to me this will be a hard strategy for Arnaud and for Corey, which of course will give them a big undercut again. And it looks to me like that's Johannes taking that drive-through penalty. This will hurt. Let's just watch the pain as it happens live, because he'll just fall right to the back of the field, and there's nothing he can really complain about, because why are you speeding under safety car? There's absolutely nothing to gain doing it. And he's very lucky he's ahead of Ben Shaw in the championship. I'll just say that much, because he could have found himself in big trouble here.
Who's that? Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Yeah, Johannes. He's level on points. He's ahead on count back, but he's last at the minute.
Yeah.
So he's a lucky boy.
Very lucky. That count back is saving him. But yeah, it's Chris Waits currently one position away from making it into the next round. Sullivan Lewis is definitely going through as it stands. Oh, we've got a spinner behind, and that now puts Chris Waits in to the next round of the playoffs if he can stay there. He makes up two positions and one corner. It was Jack Craig that spun in front of him.
Is that even bigger damage? Oh, I thought that was risky. It's Yuri that has half the front wing missing there. I was going to say that would have been really bad news if it was Risky's car that had that much damage. Is Jake going to have a go here? We'll worry about him in a moment. As you say, Ben Harrett up into 6th place, a driver who's had a really bad season. Well, we're not going to sugarcoat it. It's been a really bad season so far. And a result like this will do him nicely. Look at Deck on the outside of Corey. He nearly got that through. He's got no penalties here, by the way. This is fighting for a podium a legitimate podium on his sort of comeback race. If this goes well, I'm expecting you on the grid next season, mate. This is. We haven't seen heights like this since Australia season 5. We'll just ignore the restart on that day. But yeah, it's good to see Deck up at the front again, isn't it?
Granny still thinks he won that race as well.
Yeah, well, ignorance is bliss, isn't it? Well, that's probably not the thing to say, is it? Moving on.
Carry on.
Here comes Jake. Yeah, he's got DRS, but he's not. Well, I say he's not using the DRS. He is on hot lap, but not using overtake. Is he happy to sit behind Arnold at the moment? I mean, he's making a good gap to Corey behind, and this is putting him into better challenging position. But I mean, he's got a good run now. Surely he'll get past. Even
chop.
with the chop there, I think he's gonna have the grip on the tyres. And Jake running outside takes the lead. He now has to somehow find 10 seconds because he does have that penalty to sort of worry about. Risky and Ben Howard are sort of trading blows at the minute. And Risky in P6. His race is sort of coming back to life, actually, isn't it? It looked like it was down in the dumps earlier on, but if he can get up to Deck, he could be looking at a podium again. So not going too badly on a day where we've got, Johannes at the back, we've got no Casper, we've got no Ben Shaw.
It's important for Sullivan as well.
He's
with
ahead of
Johannes
Tony
having a
on track
bad
as
day
well.
like this. He's got to take advantage of the bad days, and Johannes is having one. Down in P16 now. And
Shockingly,
here comes Tony.
shockingly, Gareth didn't make that too difficult. And now Deck up the inside. He's going to get it done this time on Corey Dalton. That's for P3 on the road. Oh, Corey's still there. And they've made contact. Front wing's gone off. On Deck's car, the front left end plate is gone. And that was Corey forcing the issue there. Robust driving. Perfectly legal in Jackocar. But that's caught Deck completely by surprise. Oh, and his contact behind as well as Tony gets past Gareth. I think that was Waitsy getting bumped off the road. No damage, I don't think. It was Ben Harrett he was racing with, I think. And, well, elbows are starting to come out here.
Yeah. It's all at stake now, isn't it? Jamie Griffiths out. Safety car deployed.
Oh, and look at the lap. I mean, lap 18.
It's very reminiscent of the Season 2 Championship 5. We had no safety cars until lap 18. Sullivan Lewis put it in the wall between turns 4 and 5. Changed that race.
I mean, Jake, it has to be a no-brainer here, right? Got to pit. I mean, he's already got an 8-second gap on Corey, so. Oh, what are you doing, you idiot? Oh, I was just gonna say he was almost getting away with it. He was getting away with that because everyone's gonna pit. Apart from Tim McMurdoch, he was getting away with that. It's because Corey was nearly 10 seconds behind him, and then he goes and does it again. He speeds into the pits and gets himself a 10-second penalty. That's so frustrating. Not just for me, but for him as well. If you think I'm frustrated, he'll be apoplectic right now. I can't believe he's just done that. Corey's up to second place. Can you get those? Well, net second place. Can he get mediums to the end? That's a big question to ask, but he's going to give it a go. Arnold did indeed go for the hard strategy. I just... Wow. What on earth are you doing that for, Jake? Anyway, it's he's the one who has to deal with it, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
I'm frustrated for him. I can't believe he's done that. But anyway, that's just sums his season. Genuinely, if you want one incident to sum his season up, that's it there. Just not falling into players for him at all at the moment.
Just when he was looking fast as well, and he has been good in this race, apart from the two pit lane speeding penalties. Who was it? It was Arnold, wasn't it, in Season 2? Was it Arnold or Kyle?
Kyle, the 5-second penalty, yeah.
Yeah, it was Arnold who wasn't aggressive enough on that day, and that's why Jamie Wright got his first championship. First of 19 race wins.
Robin
Gareth
hitting that.
will
Well-
lead in Brazil.
What about this for a 1, 2, 3? Gareth, Bazza, and Pete. Again, nothing
Stunning.
here, by the way. Nothing here. I know he's got front wing damage here, but our net res leader is Pete because he's on the Joker. If he can get these tires to the end, he won't have any pace. We saw how slow Corey was with just a 7-lap delta to Jake, so try 10-lap
Owen,
delta and damage, but he's a net race leader.
Do you know what we didn't do in the last race?
We didn't mention the losing streak.
We did not, and I feel like we need to correct ourselves this week. It stands at 195 races, but tonight is a special night because not only is it 195 races since Pete last won, it's also his 200th Cup Series race.
Wow.
I know. That is wow as well. It is impressive. All time, he's actually this would be 202 because of his 2 Kia Series starts, but in Cup terms, it's 200 starts. That is impressive. It deserves credit.
And so he hasn't won past his 5th race. Is that what that means? That can't be right.
That is what my thingy is saying. I mean, I do the stats manually. It's certainly very close to that.
Yeah, he must have won all his races in the first 10 or so. Did he not win any playoff races in his first season?
Nope.
That's
No,
incredible.
he did not. He won 3 in a row and then said, I've had enough. Took
Well.
home a championship and he's had stick ever since. Let's go racing.
Let's go racing, and it's Gareth who leads it. Ahead of Bazza, ahead of Pete, as we said, who's broke the front wing again, hit the back of Bazza. That was completely lag induced, I think, so I'm hesitant to blame him for that. But look at Corey Dalton. I mean, which way do you want to go here, Pete? You're going to have a real problem here with boxing Corey in, and Arnold up his inside, and Corey has to follow him through. That could have been really awkward for Corey there, but he just about find the gap to get through there. Risky. Surely Pete won't make this too difficult for him. And he doesn't. He just lets him through. I think that's a sensible thing to
Look
do.
who's behind now.
Oh, fuck yeah. He won't make this easy on Ben Harrett, I'll tell you that much. But, actually, you probably should mention Waitsy behind as well, because he just bumped
That's
and
wing
barged
damage.
his way into the back, and that is the left end plate. But even bigger damage for Johannes, who really ought to change that front wing now. I mean, Pete's had a big moment. And
He's made it easy for Ben Harrett.
he's going to get done by the whole field. Oh my goodness me! How is that not ended up in a plane crash? It might still end up a plane crash, as Pete Knighton was a safety car again. As Pete Knighton got absolutely sent. And Jake, by the way, have
I just watched the replay.
Have I not been watching? Hold on a minute. So he
What?
was he? Yeah. So he was. Yeah. So he was. Is that really where that 10-second penalty put him into last place? And then he's pitted again, or has he actually been involved in an incident there? Have I gone blank there? Did he make an extra pit stop under the safety car? Well, he couldn't have, because he's just. How the hell did he end up last? Anyway, he's still last. So that's the point. But anyway, yeah. So safety car's out. Pete, he's just overtaken the safety car there, and he's got no front wing because he lost it just at the point where it was too late to go into the pits. So he's got to do this whole in lap. And yes, that was Waitsy, wasn't it? Who he was sort of punted by again, but possibly lag induced. But he was way up into the outside barriers, and that could have been an airplane crash. And very lucky it wasn't, because that would have taken a few cars with him. But I think we've used 4 out of our 5 safety car slots, and we only lost 1 car.
Yeah, love it. Arnold sent me a message before things got underway this evening. He says he wants chaos, and at the minute, that's what he's getting. Not but the most chaotic race, but it's certainly exciting. And what did I say to you, Owen, when I heard that you were ill? I said, you're ill, I'm tired, that means we're in for a good race. And
Oh yeah.
normally, when we're not on top form, we get our best races.
A lot of cars. Eh?
Safety car in, wow.
Okay, so they've not caught the safety car yet, and we're going to go green again. Let's just look back at the front, because I believe we've got a green track again. I think we're racing. Or I think we are. I think we're racing. Are we racing? I don't know if we're racing or not. I'm just trying to keep an eye on what. Okay. Was that like a VSC and they just put the safety car out there by accident or something?
I don't know. If I was Gareth, I would slow down a bit.
Yeah, but he'd have a Delta or something, wouldn't he? He looks like he's driving away from them. I'm just going to make sure the safety car... Yeah, so the safety car has pitted and stopped. I don't like that this icon is still on screen, and Corey Dalton is binding wheels there. We're risky and they've crashed. Oh dear, they're both way off the road. And that's Corey coming across there, and he's lucky to... Well, his car's ghosted. He's lucky that's happened, because it would have been a plane crash, and look at OKK. We love to see it. What a move. For P9, and he's going to have Corey on him as well here. And that would suggest racing very much is back on, but that was Corey. Looked to me like he came across on
the inside of Gareth.
Yeah, looked to me like Corey came across on risky on the way through the dive, and that's what's caused all this chaos. As OKK this time he gets the move wrong and nearly has Jack Craig facing backwards, and he's broke his front wing. So it didn't last long, did it? Deck, he's going to have Yuri up his inside. Contact. Tony just has to sit behind here and just points at the right moment.
I still have yellow flags on my screen, Aaron.
Yeah, likewise.
Oh yeah, so you do.
Don't know what it's for. We've seen it before when the safety car comes in, it just stays yellow. So I assume it's done that. But yeah. I don't really know what happened there. I mean, I don't... What happened there with the safety car did do a lap, just no one caught it. And then it just had enough. That sort of thing would normally happen for a late safety car with 2 laps to go, and then it would come in after that 1 lap, but that's not what happened there. So I'm not really too sure. It come out
the pits in the middle of the train, because they were all still bunched up from the last safety car.
Yeah.
Baz is third, by the way, on merit here.
Is he? Is he a joker? I didn't even realise.
No, he's done 2 stops. He's
on
good
15,
to the end.
He's on 15 lap all tyres though.
Oh, maybe he's not good to the end.
Yeah. He and Tim McMurdoch, they both had to make another stop. I'll still lead them pretty much in the top 10, I would have thought, though, somewhere around there. I mean, everyone around is going to be on pretty beaten up tyres. I'm not entirely sure how many people can get to the end on their current tyres. We may end up with a flurry of late stops or some NASCAR-style punctures. But, yeah. Because I mean, we saw Tony give up on mediums after 8 laps, and we've already got people like Yuri on them for 8 laps. So, and he's still got another.
Harriet's on for P2.
He's got another 11 to go, and you're right. Ben Harriet is on for P2. Generally, just because he's avoided all the chaos. I mean, it helps that Corey crashed and didn't get him involved. But look at this, Tim McMurdoch defending a wee bit. He's going to defend even more now. He's got 2 cars coming up his inside, and Ben Harriet should be able to squeeze through. Nope, backside of it.
He doesn't want to ruin the result, does he? He's scared.
Well,
Ben.
You can run scared for a little bit, but he's got Tony and Deck and Corey. I mean, Corey's still in there. I mean, they'll all be catching, and this is a great battle between Baza and Gareth, and it'll continue up the hill. This is all helping Arnaud to pull away, and there's a bit of wheel-to-wheel contact. And Ben Harriet again just doesn't want to go for the move, and we've lost Johannes. No. That's a safety car, and that should be a real safety car this time. So everything slows down again. Right, if I'm Gareth and if I'm Baza, I suppose there's no better time to pit and be on tyres that will get to the end. Will Arnaud pit as well, maybe? Because I'm just not convinced all these guys on these tyres will get to the end. But
well, he's got a fresh set of mediums. He may as well. Why would you not at this point? 7-second lead.
Yeah, he doesn't really need to win it. I'm still sort of suspecting whoever is in second place on the last lap, if Arnaud likes the look of it, he'll just let them win it. But and he's done that before. Was it not him that let Paul McGuinness win just for the fun of it? So
it was Khalifa, wasn't it?
Oh, was it Khalifa? Got my ERTs mixed
season
up.
3.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
Gareth,
Gareth.
you prick. Well, luckily Baza didn't do that. Yuri's also done it, and yeah, they're all pitting. So I think Arnold might have missed a trick here. I say they're all pitting. A large number of them are pitting. So I think Arnold, yeah, and he has also caught a safety car, which didn't happen last time. So I think he might have missed a trick here. Oh, look at Baza on some new softs. This is Jackocar.
Yeah, this is gold. Yes, Bazza.
Good stuff. Big fan of this. Massive fan of this.
Bazza's in a legitimate championship fight as well. Let's not forget that.
Oh, well, of course.
Let's look at the points. Bazza comes into this inside the top 4, which of course is only good enough to get you into the championship force, but he is in play. He is there. And with a move like that, he's going to be scrappy at the end, but he's going big. He wants to be in the championship, not the championship 4, the chase 4.
We know it, yeah.
To go into the championship 5.
We can call that championship 4. That's what we're going to be billing it as on the night.
I guess so.
But, yeah, so Tony also on soft. Let me just see if Deck has the full complement of his front wing again, because if he does, I think he's the driver to watch. Oh, he still has the damage. Oh, that's a shame. And mind you, he may still have some pace, but if he had that full front wing, he'd have been really exciting. Risky does now have the full complement of his front wing, so maybe he'll be one to watch. There's a lot to watch here. We've got the 2 leaders on the worst tyres, possibly. Well, the top 5 are probably all on tyres they don't really want to be on. But if you're someone like Jack Craig, I suppose you might as well go for it, because how often does he get a chance? And
Owen,
he's also in the danger zone, so if he can get a big point zone tonight, it's a great result.
Stop taking words out of my mouth.
Sorry.
Jack Craig comes into this. He's P19 in the standings, right? He's 1 point away from Ben Harrett, who is P18. Both of them in danger, especially with Robin Border running so well up in P4. Michael OKK P13. Where's Mike Kelterborn?
Mike's having a horrendous day. And
I
think he's the most in trouble at the minute. I think even though KK's looking... Well, yeah, OKK's looking better than him at the minute, but he has to make 7 points on him.
As it stands, this is on-the-fly maths. As it stands, OKK and Waze are eliminated. But because Waze isn't here, Mike Kelterborn's very lucky, because it's the kind of day where Waze would thrive and probably get a top 10. The top 4 in the chase is Pete, Gareth, Yuri, Baza. Where's Yuri and all this? He's had a quiet day, I'd say. He's P16. So, anything could happen. And then in terms of the playoffs, Chris Waits is inside the top 10, but Sullivan Lewis is 12th. So yeah, Ben Shaw is still getting eliminated, but Johannes is not in play. So everybody other than Ben Shaw will benefit.
Don't really know why. Oh, of course I know why Gareth's done that, because he's got his penalty. So yeah, get it out of the way now. Making a pit stop, but yeah, there's a lot of drivers here who are on for season bests, career bests results. I mean, this could be a very messy restart, because again, like I say, I think these top 5 are on tyres that I don't really think are very good. So how are they going to deal with the absolute onslaught that's incoming? Baza is hyper aggressive, we know that. Tony's fast, we know that. Deck has also been pretty damn aggressive today, and also pretty damn fast. Risky, he needs the big result to come at some point. I know he's a long way down in a minute, but I mean, if you want a track to overtake on, you couldn't really have picked a better place than here. So a lot can happen here. Jake O'Sullivan as well. He's sort of back in play thanks to the safety car. So we'll keep our eye on him as well. But this should be a pretty hectic last 7 laps at the end. I don't believe we've got any more safety car slots, so that should be the last time we see it today.
We don't need any more. This is set up to be one of those classic finishes. It's going to give us 7 to go. And Arnold chasing race win number 21. Everybody behind him has something to lose.
Here we go then. Coming up to the line, waiting as late as possible, and Arnold has gone, and he's taken Ben Harrett with him. He's made a very good restart. Corey Dalton as well looking, but no one making any big moves so far. Waitsy is all over the back of Jack Craig, who is struggling already. It's just been one corner, but look at the train he's causing. Baz is pulling out, so is Tony, and Tony's going to go to the inside of the lot of them here. I'm just watching on board from Deck, because he's also going to have Risky on him, and a lot of moves happening here. Deck makes contact with the back of a car, and that's going to be into the wall for Risky.
Sullivan!
And if we don't have any more safety car slots, that's his day done, effectively.
That's his championship done.
Well, is he behind? Oh, he is behind, you're right.
Actually, no.
No,
If he
he's
finishes
fine,
there...
I think.
Yeah, Owen, he at P16, he goes level on points with Ben Shaw and would advance on countback as Yori lets him go through because he's got a puncher. So Sullivan Lewis is safe, but he should be out. Oh, mental.
This restart has been a total disaster. Yeah, it's been a total disaster for everyone who was looking to try and make a big gain, apart from Tony. Tony got through all of this, and he now has 6 laps.
Under the wall!
Oh my.
And that's Bazza and Pete Norton.
I got no good view of that. I just saw a front wing flying into the camera lens. Interesting. Whose was that? That was Pete's. Okay. Right.
And to give you some perspective, Sullivan only has to finish the race now, and he advances. If he DNFs, he's out.
Big ask.
Yeah, 5 to go.
I tell you what, Jack Craig has been... he's been showing the ropes there. That's what's happened there. He's been absolutely showing the Jackocar ropes. Jake, if he can get past Waitsy soon, he could also be in with a shot. But I think we're going to be looking at Tony. I said he could be a dark horse for the title. He could be a dark horse for the win here. He's going to have to get... No wing. He's going to have to basically... Well, I think he will win this, Tony. To be absolutely blunt, I think he'll win this. Simple as. As long as he doesn't get into any collision, this should be pretty simple from here on out. I'm sure he won't thank me for saying that, but he's got everything he needs underneath him. And Tony should take second place, possibly even into turn 1. He'll get past Corey now. Oh, doesn't fancy it. Doesn't fancy it. Ben Harrett will be pleased, but I don't think this will last. I think if I'm Ben Harrett, I'm going to have to... Well... I mean, how do you deal with this? You're going to have 2 cars coming past you here.
You don't deal with this.
Oh, God,
Corey!
And he's still up the inside. And he just about doesn't take Tony out of the race. He gets himself another penalty for his troubles. That will shunt him down the field somewhat. And I think Gareth's now trying to get past Jack Craig as well. Robin's held on to a top 5 for now. But again, his tyres can't be looking particularly good at the minute. Pete, Bazza, Risky have all been into the pits. And here comes Jake. Pretty good routine move there for him. And he'll be also chasing after the podium. And Ben Harrett's P2. Well, that slipped away. Looks like a podium may well slip away in a moment, because I can't see a world where Jake doesn't get past him. And it'll suddenly become a race by getting a top 5. Which is still good, but I think he might have been hoping for a little bit better. But again, he's had such a bad season. I think he'll take whatever he can get. The loss of the super speedway is really hurting him here, isn't it? But oh well, what can you do? We've got 4 to go. Tony, not really making inroads yet on Arnold. He's running a VRS. That's probably not helping. Yeah. But he should be faster though. All logic dictates he should be quicker. So we'll see. I mean, if Arnold can win the race from here, I'll be pretty impressed, really. He's had a very quiet day, which is exactly what you need to have in Jackocar to win a race. And obviously we know he wouldn't have been able to make the Championship 5 anyway, but it's just a shame that the performances are coming out now when it doesn't really mean anything. Because he's actually pulling away from Tony. He's having a very good run here.
So I'm trying to do some maths here. We're all happy and content that Waze goes home, providing no KK and Jack Craig and Ben Harrett don't all crash out. Jack Craig getting 6 points there. He would advance. Ben Harrett getting enough. So yeah, it is Waze and OKK. OKK needs to find another 3 positions in 3 laps to advance to the next round of the chase, and I don't think it's going to happen. Deck only P8, that is OKK's target. Waitsy P6 doing enough. Sullivan Lewis running is doing enough. But you didn't see it, Owen. He was heading towards the same wall that he headed to in Season 2 when he brought out the safety car here and put Jamie Wright on course for his championship.
Who was
retired that day? Sullivan Lewis.
We did see it. That's the one thing we did catch. We did catch that one, luckily.
Okay.
Missed the rest of it.
He shouldn't be in this race, but he is. And with that, he is going through to the next round of the playoffs. Ben Shaw facing elimination with 2.5 laps to go then. Arnold, well, he's built that gap up. He's heading towards race win number 21, the reigning champion. He's going to enjoy the end of his championship reign in the Jacko era. He may come back in season 13 and do it all over again. 2 to go then in Brazil.
Corey, it's time to get your elbows out, mate. I don't think you've got anything to defend with, but he's got Jake O'Sullivan all over the back of him. He will defend to the inside. Has he got anything on the brakes? No. Okay, that's disappointing. And Jake gets through into P3. That's probably the height of where he's going to get to. And Ben Howard, he's still hanging on there, and we've got OKK now up into top 10, so he's gone off.
Oh, OKK.
He'd made the move, but that might have been a nail in the coffin, unfortunately for him. He's unlucky to be in a race where he's 11th, but everyone else is basically having season best days. It's typical, isn't it? But it's costing him at the moment. Ben Harrett, he's already P4 thanks to Corey's penalty, but I think he fancies getting him on track. And that could cause fireworks if he gets it wrong, so we'll keep an eye on this. But we've got Arnold coming up the hill, Jacko, and on the oldest tyres of the lot, he's making it look easy.
A master of Jackocar, and it's going to be 1 lap to go in Brazil for the Belgian. Residing in Germany, dominating in Brazil. It's easy, isn't it, for him? Bring it home, my son, as Ben Harrett does get that move done on Corey way before turn 1. And that will actually promote Waitsy to P5. That will put Waitsy actually in a very good position going into next week's race. With Johannes out, Ben Shaw out, Sullivan Lewis struggling, Chris Waits eyeing up a possible visit to the Championship 5 in his debut season.
Just waiting,
by the way, P7.
Yeah, it'll be P6 as well. Don't forget the Corey penalty. That will affect. That might. Yeah, I was gonna say it might trickle down to Deck. I don't think it will. He's got too much damage to the car. He's not going to be able to do anything with that. So yeah, Corey will end up 7th, and yeah, Robin having a great day. This is for Pete, who came into this leading the chase. Bit of a disaster. Same for Baza. But it can't work out for everyone. It has worked out for this man today. Arnaud on pole, dominated the race, and he wins for what, the 21st time was it, you say, in Jackocar? And I mean, the gap he's pulled on those tyres, very impressive. We know that the sauce don't last very long. I thought they'd have better performance than that, though, as Tony holds off Jake for 2nd. Ben Harrett, P4, he's arrived finally in season 12. Waitsy in 5th, and Robin 6th. Great result from him. Corey 7th. Deck back in 8th. Good return for him. Jack Craig in 9th. And he will advance. Okay, he does get the top 10, but sadly for him, he still gets knocked out along with Wace. That's just disastrous for him, really, because that is one of his better results, but it means nothing. In the end, what looked like it could have been a good day for Gareth ends up only P11. Mike somehow ends up 12th. He had a horrible day. But he's got to the end, and that's what matters, I suppose, for the points.
And you know what? With Ben Harrett's result, he goes from P18 to P11 in the chase. So basically 8th to 1st.
And there you go. That's how one big result can change everything. But he's got to keep that up now for the next 3 races to get himself into the Championship 5. But It's a weird. It's weird seeing Arnold on the top step of a Jackocar podium, and he's not going to be into the championship. We've never seen this before. Probably for Arnold. Arnold winning the race, that means absolutely nothing to him.
It is a first.
So, bit of a weird one for him, but he can enjoy the fact that he pretty much had the field beaten from the first time he sat in the car in qualifying. He's been like that pretty much all season, but just when he needed it to, it didn't work out for him. But he's shown today he's got that form. So Arnold wins on the 2 stops that you're meant to do. Tony on his Joker did 4 stops. Jake on his Joker did 4 stops. I'm saying nothing. Ben is 4th. Waitsy, also with 4 stops. Robin, Corey, Deck, Jack, OKK. Then we got the rest. We're going to run out of time. You can see them on your screen there, though. And that is Brazil. Another exciting race of Brazil. I just wish I'd caught more of it on that restart, because I saw Sully into the wall, and the rest of it we were relying on radio comms, because it all just seemed to be happening at random points there. We saw that Pete's front wing flying at our camera, and we didn't see what provoked it. So yeah, it might be an interesting rewatch. But anyway, who cares? We're not professionals, not anymore.
No, sorry, I'm being awfully distracted because I've got something sticking out of my bottom at the minute.
And there you go. And my point proven.
I hope that isn't used out of context, because it's coming out, not going in. So I don't have long.
Shall we end this then?
Yes.
Right then.
Good race though. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Good time. Good to be back. 4 races to go. Don't know where we are next week. Remember, it is a random calendar. I say random. We may or may not have cheated with 1 or 2 of these, but let's not worry about that. We will see. We'll see you next week, wherever we are. 7 p.m. same time, same place. You know this by now. No one's going to stumble across this by accident. You know how Jackocar works. So we will see you next time. Cheerio. Safe travels.